Hello everyone, it's Mark. Welcome back to our video Q&A series. In this video, I want to talk to you about notification and the Baker Act. So when we get calls from families whose loved ones are stuck in Baker Act facilities, one of the things that we hear over and over again is that their loved one went to the facility either voluntarily or went there involuntarily, and now the family is unable to make contact with the person, and the person inside the facility is unable to make contact with their family. And they're saying, is this right? So the answer to that is no. It's absolutely not appropriate for you to be cut off from your family and the family to be cut off from the loved one. And I'm going to read you a couple sections of the statute here, the Baker Act statute, which is Chapter 397. And I want you to listen to this so you can hear, what's going on and what should be going on. So Section 394-4597, which is the section of the statute in the Baker Act that talks about notification. And I'm going to read this to you. Voluntary patients. At the time a patient is voluntarily admitted to a receiving or treatment facility, the identity and contact information of a person to be notified in case of an emergency shall be entered in the patient's clinical record. Involuntary patients, people that went there, against their will. Perhaps they were taken by the police, an emergency room doctor issued a professional certificate, or somebody went to the courthouse and filed for an ex parte pickup order. So involuntary patients, at the time a patient is admitted to a facility for involuntary examination or placement, or when a petition for involuntary placement is filed, the names, addresses, and telephone numbers of the patient's guardian or guardian advocate or representative, if the patient has no guardian, and the patient's attorney shall be entered into the patient's clinical record. So the whole point of this is that when somebody goes into a facility voluntarily or involuntarily, the facility is supposed to note in their clinical record who the person is that they want contacted. Okay, and it's not just for emergency situations. Okay, if you get placed in a Baker Act facility, either against your will or because you went there voluntarily, they're not supposed to cut you off from everybody. They're simply not supposed to do that. But they do that, and that's one of the indicators that they're planning on keeping you. And as I've mentioned in other videos, and if you check out the website, there's a lot of content out there about what goes on in the Baker Act facility. If they are planning on keeping you, cutting you off and not letting you have contact with your loved one, and not letting your loved one have contact with you is a surefire sign that they're planning on doing something to make sure that your loved one stays there. And if you've got health insurance, that's one of the main factors that you should be considering if your loved one can't get out. And of all the petitions that we filed to secure people out of facilities, every single one of them had health insurance. And so, look, you're not supposed to be cut off, okay? And your loved one's not supposed to be cut off from you. If the facility's doing that, it's because they're acting inappropriately. But because there's no oversight, no one's watching them, nobody knows they're doing it. Unless, of course, you call us, in which case we're going to tell the judge they're doing it. And that typically changes things dramatically. But the key to getting somebody out of a Baker Act facility is moving quickly. As I've said in other videos, it's a race to the courthouse. If you allow the facility to file for a court order, because they can do that as well as I can do that, and there's a hearing, there's a good chance your loved one's getting stuck there. And once the judge issues an order, it's, almost impossible to get your loved one out. Okay, they're going to spend the next, 30, 60, 90, potentially, 180 days in the facility. So time is of the essence with these cases. In any event, with that said, thank you for tuning into another video. If you have any more questions, send them to me. And with that said, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.